before we started up, we had to make sure that the friendship was solid again.
Can you maybe tell what each person of you brings in that, yeah, these ingredients that...
Well, obviously I bring in the heaviness, and I'm not talking about my weight.
but yeah, he also
I mean the you know, the brutality and the guitars and stuff like that. The aggression, yeah.
But also melancholy was mentioned by Burton.
Yeah, I have a lot of that in me, and I think that's probably was inspired from him. Really.
Yeah, he has a voice with his guitar that strikes a chord within me that I can find melody with it, and the melodies that I find are dark, melancholic, yet hopeful, and you know, it works. You know, we find that chord between us, and I think that's the thing that really strikes us. There's a certain sadness about it, certain melancholy. You know?
Yeah, and sometimes I try to, you know, create the melody of what he's singing on the guitar. You know what I mean? I'll write to it.
Yeah. What's the usually way that you jam to write songs? I read, but in what sort of way do you start writing riffs?
We kind of all write together. On this record, we all sat in a room together, and we pretty much just, whatever came out naturally, that's what it came out. I mean, we discussed topics, you know, what we're going to sing about, you know, maybe, you know, there was a couple things that might have been written before, but for the most part, you know, a good 90% of the music was just written all together.
What I wanted to ask you, when not playing in Fear Factory, your guitar playing is very bounded with Fear Factory. When not playing in Fear Factory in the hiatus, is your writing changed a little bit, or? Yeah,
I think it's definitely changed. I've definitely, you know, I play more notes.
He's evolved, definitely.
Yeah.
Evolved. He's grown as a guitar player. He's learned his craft. You know, he's been playing guitars 20 plus years. So, you know, the more you play, the better you get. And you know, like, I believe that we have all evolved and grown as craftsmen.
What was for you an important skill, maybe, that you've learned in the? Maybe you can answer it.
Yeah.
No, I think I think what's the right word? It's
I think
patience, and knowing when not to sing, and you know, listening is something that, you know, listening to others and communicating, I think, with the band, and you know.
Yeah. When we're writing, there's no such thing as a bad idea.
Right.
You know what I mean? It may not work for that song, but you save it for something else. You know what I mean? So we have a motto as we try to try everything. But as far as Bert's, how he's involved, I believe that he's become definitely a much more intelligent writer, not just lyrically, but, you know, vocally. And on this record, I think it's the most passionate I've ever heard him sing. So.
Yeah.
You mentioned the word patience. I assume that goes as well for non-musical issues, non-musical.
Well, you know, Dino and I have, you know, the time apart was good for us because we were able to learn to communicate from this, you know, from this absence from each other. And when we got back together, it was communication that brought us back together, and we learned to talk, and before we even started talking about music. So. Do
you recall who called who, or how was the first time you spoke?
I think he called me. Yeah,
we just walked up to him at the ministry show.
Yeah, well, we saw each other first, then we exchanged numbers.
And then I called him.
Yeah.
Was it spontaneous, or did you, for a moment, think, should I do this right now? Or
I just did it. It was just like, you know, why not? You know, it was, you know, reconnecting with an old friend, and so yeah, it was spontaneous.
Do you live in the same area?
No, we live opposite ends of the country, actually.
But he does stay at my house when he's in LA.
Yeah, when I go to LA to rehearse and write, I stay with Dino.
Yeah, because a long time ago we first met because we used to be
roommates.
Yeah, we used to be roommates in an 8-bedroom house, and we had a mutual friend, and who told me about a room that they were renting for really cheap. And when I moved in there, he was one of the guys living there.
That's cool.
That's how we met.
And so we're still living together after all these years.
But you could say that maybe your friendship is the most important foundation to.
Absolutely.
When starting.
Exactly. Before we started up, we had to make sure that the friendship was solid again.